Good afternoon, Facebook family, Aya Educational Institute family. This is Wakesa Mazimoyo coming to you with a special Facebook Live to talk about a new course. It's an adult course, and it's a part of our family lore project. It's called Celebrating Family and, most importantly, Healing Broken Stories. As some of you know, we've been talking about family lore project, and we've made a publication based on our families. That is teaching students how to connect with their families, how to heal alienation, find the family stories, and how to begin to write about them. Welcome. Glad that you're in the house. Isaiah, glad you're in the house. Come on in. We're talking about healing broken stories. We're talking about a special course. This course, the difference between this and what we have been doing. Before, we have been focusing primarily on youth. Now this course is for adults. A number of you responded to some of my writings, encouraging me to write a book. I appreciate that. The book is in the process. It will be out. Give me about a year, not quite that much, and it'll be done. The point is, many of you are inspired by family stories, and Dr. Joyce King says, call us together so that we can write our stories. And that's what we're doing. This course is called Celebrating Families and, most importantly, Healing Broken Stories. All right. Now, this is a very powerful course. The free orientation for that course is April 13th. Okay. Saturday, 10:30 to 12:30. And then there will be, we'll be getting together for 6 more times. We'll get together in April. We'll get together in May, and we'll get together in June, okay? And then there'll be work in between, all right? And that course, if you want to go there, you'll see it in the link to this broadcast, and that is ayaed.com/HBC. It stands for Healing Broken Stories. And family, we're not a broken people. We do have broken stories. And those broken stories lead to injuries, and we lead to disconnection from our families, leads to disunity, and we have to heal those stories. And so that's what it's about. It's about how do we use stories and storytelling to heal the broken stories in our family. And in doing so, how do we celebrate what our family is? How do we reach back and go at it? So I'm gonna tell you just a little bit about what we're doing, and I'll look down here if you have any questions. Please put them in. Again, let me tell you, basically 10:30 to 12:30. The orientation, free to the public, is April 13th. But I encourage you to sign up because we're only going to have a small number of core people in this class, and that class officially will start the April 20th. And let me just tell you a little bit about what this is about and why this is really important. We are surrounded every day by other people's stories. Television stories, sports stories, newspaper stories, book stories, magazine stories. And all of these stories have an agenda. They want us to do something. They want us to be something. They want us to buy something. They want us to identify something. All of these stories are alien to us as a people and to our family. At least most of them are alien to us, to our families, and to us as an African family. Now, what we're saying is we need to be about making stories, finding the stories. We have stories, right? Oppression has hidden those stories underneath all kinds of scares, underneath fears, underneath what some people call apathy. So we don't mind our stories. We don't find drama in our family stories. And y'all know we got drama in our family stories, okay? If there's anything we got drama in our family stories. And part of what we're talking about doing is let's go get it. Let's go find the drama in our stories, in our family stories. Is there dialogue that we can use in our family stories? Let me ask a couple of questions, okay? What are the shared family stories that make us a family or an extended family? Do you know those stories? And if so, how about let's gather those stories for your family, your particular family, all right? Next question. Are there family stories with heroes and sheroes and villains and rogues and martyrs and rebels and intrigue and suspense? Sure. You know, one of my first hero stories was my Uncle Deuce, Uncle Doug. Okay. Doug would, people would come to cut the power off, and Doug, who hadn't had any electrical experience, would go up on the pole and cut it back on. Okay. Now, whether you like that or not, doesn't matter. He was courageous. He was smart. You know, he outwitted the system. We're talking about family stories. And if you want to, while I'm talking about it right now, you can go to ayaed.com/HBC for Healing Broken Stories. And you'll see what this course is about and how to register and sign up right away. Let me keep going a bit. Y'all stay with me. I appreciate it. The question is, can our stories protect us or make sure we stay focused so those alien stories don't take us away, okay, and have us serve other people's interests? Can we do that? Can our stories do that? And the answer is yes, our stories can. If we grab those stories, if we tell those stories, if we write those stories, okay? And it doesn't matter whether you're a writer or not. The course, we won't be writing a book. We will be gathering the things and writing about the things in the family that could produce a book, okay? And some of those things will actually be published in our second publication of the Family Law Project. But don't get all bent out of shape about whether or not you're going to be making a book. It won't be that hard, all right? After the orientation, there were 6 classes, and every class has a focus on a theme. It's 2.5 hours. We're online together. And check this out. The tuition that you'll find on the page, it's not just for you. You can also bring another family member. All right, so that other family member can join you from wherever they are in the country in the class where we are learning how do you go get those stories? How do you find those stories? Find them from where? Sometimes they're in cars, because y'all know there were some stories about some cars. The first time you got the cars, you know, what daddy thought about his car. Oh, that his special car. Oh, my goodness. Quilts contain the stories, right? We're going to look at all number of different places, migration stories. I asked my students today who love mysteries, what's a mystery story in your family? Okay, so we're going to go get them, all right, because they're there. And we need those stories to protect us. We need those stories to guide us. We used to be the consummate storytellers. Now we depend on other people, all right? We consume other people's stories and we're not producing our own and we're not telling our own. And that's what this class is about, okay? It's called Celebrating Family and Healing Broken Stories. It's a part of our Family Lore Project. But this one is dedicated for adults. And if you want to, if that second person you want to bring, which is free of charge, to those classes happens to be like a high school student, fine. Now, I'd encourage it not to go any lower than that. All right, the Family Lore Project. Let me keep going. And I'm looking, if you have questions, if you have other folks you want to send this to, the video to, or ask them to get on, because what we're talking about is we're talking about the future, okay? We're talking about the future of our families and the future of our people, using a simple but very powerful tool, one of the most powerful instruments ever created, and that is stories and storytelling, which is why everything is about that. All right. When you listen to a $500,000 commercial at the Super Bowl, what is that? They're not giving you a list of things to remember. They're not telling you here are the advantages and disadvantages and go buy it. No, they are telling you a story. Okay. And in that story are values. Okay. In that story is direction. In that story are characters for you to identify with. Come on now. Let's tell these stories. Let's learn the stories and tell them stories. Got a couple of questions for you. Thank y'all for coming on here. I appreciate that. Tamara, appreciate that. So one question is, and y'all, I'm just getting used to Facebook Live, so I may not be doing it the best, but I'm here with you, all right? Have you shared your stories and the family stories that will protect your children and family against the rough winds of the future? I'm going to ask you again. Have you told your stories? That is, stories that have character, stories that convey values, stories that convey vision that will protect them from the rough winds of the future. Now, you know, we have some rough winds we're going through now, and it's not going to clear up anytime soon. Okay, we're going to have to make it through some of these rough winds. And guess what? Your stories are the key things that will help your children, your people, and yourself make it through those rough winds. See, it's not so much the actual experience, it's what you tell yourself about the experience, okay? And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about storytelling. Next question for you. Have you gathered the stories of yesteryear so when your story fails, you can lean on those shared stories that you got from Big Mama and them, that you got from uncle, from aunt, from sister, from brother? Can you lean on those stories to help maintain you and to help get your message across? Because sometimes our stories just won't make it, all right? For whatever reason. But I can talk about my mama's story, and maybe that story can get through to my son or to my grandson, where mine won't. You understand what I'm saying? So have you gathered those stories so that you're not just pulling them out of the air, so that we can protect us and direct us? We're talking about simple storytelling. Let me tell you a little bit about what you get. Thank you all for coming on in. This is storytelling. This is the Family Law Project and a particular course. And this course is Celebrating Family and Healing Broken Stories. The website is www.ayaed.com/HBS for Healing Broken Stories. And you'll find the link here. All right, here's what you get. 3 months of training and supportive immersion, including a free registration for our June 8th Family Law Project Conference that we're holding here in Atlanta, Georgia. You also get 6 live online sessions. I will be teaching each one, okay, personally. 6 sessions, 2 hours for each session that you can attend from anywhere. Anywhere you have a good internet connection, bam, you're in the class, all right? Let me tell you what else you get. Let's keep on moving. Oh, come on. Help me out, computer. All right. All training will be videoed. So if you have to miss a class or part of the class, no worry. That class will be videoed and available in our space. We're going to have a separate space, a private space, community space, so that everybody in the class now can see the videos. They also can post their stories. They can post their discoveries. They can get feedback from other people in the class. All right. So for 3 months, we'll have this immersion. All right. We're going to meet twice after the initial session, the orientation session, which is free to everyone. So you can get a taste of it. We then are going to have this community space so that we can post our stories and learn together and support each other through this process. Okay. Then you also get support in how to get your family involved. You know, how do you get our many people we're talking about? So just how do I get my mother, my sister, my brother, my cousin, Big Mama and them? And how do we get it when there's been this disconnect in the family? You know about these disconnects in the family. So how do we get it? And so part of what you get is support. And how do you get those? All right. Plus, you get your own publishing blog. Those things that you are ready to put out to the world, whether it's snippets, whether it's proverbs, whether it's sayings, whether it's songs, whether it's poetry, whether it's some of your writing. Then you get a part of the course, you get your own space that's open to the public so that you can share that with your wider family. Okay. We're talking about this project, this Family Law Project course. Okay. Again, our previous courses have been directed toward our youth, and rightly so, and we'll continue that with their parental support. This one is directed to the adults, okay? And you can also include a high school youth if you want to, all right? It's also for those people who want to consider some of our on-site Family Law Project sites that we're having, and we started promoting earlier this year, actually last November or December, all right? Those, we continue to promote those, and this is training for people who, in fact, want to. Why is it training? Because it's important for you to go through the project so that you know what it is, so that you know how to help the students get through it. Okay, let me keep going. Y'all tell some folks about this Family Law Project, all right? About this particular course, which is designed for adults. I'm going to read you some testimonials, and then I'm probably going to get out of here because I may be getting kind of long-winded in this. That is, here's some testimonials. This testimony is from my brother, from another mother, Eric Caver. Salute, my brother. You demonstrate the power of our stories and the much needed lessons that can be gleaned from them. All right. Another testimony. This is from my friend that I really value. Her name is Joyce King. We've worked together on storytelling and memory projects before. Professor extraordinaire, African-centered teacher extraordinaire. She said, teach with that African love. We need it badly. Call us together to share our family love stories. We all have them if we've been paying attention. Now, I want to stop there because we watch television. Our children watch television and all kinds of Netflix and everything, and they're immersed by these love stories. But y'all, there are no love stories like our love stories. We got to tell those love stories. Now, a love story is not, they don't all end in happiness for them to be a wonderful love story. Think about their eyes were watching God. I mean, in the end, Janie had to take tea cake off the planet. At the same time, she wouldn't trade that time. She wouldn't trade that love for nothing in the world. All right. So we have love stories. All right. We got to gather those stories and tell the stories. Now, part of the project is about first gathering, or we like to say curating the stories in our family. Okay? And then after curating, we're going to write about those stories. Okay. So we're going to collect them. All right. Analyze them. We're going to then write about them. We're going to tell the stories then. So not only will you doing writing, but you'll become a better storyteller, okay, for our people. So because writing will help codify it and help make sure it can be passed on in one way, and telling the stories helps bring our family together. All right. That's what we're going to be doing with this family lore project, this particular course, right? The overarching thing is the family lore project. You've heard about it before. You can go to our website. You can go to www.ayaed.com/HBS Healing Broken Stories, and you can learn more about it. The point is, we're asking you to come together, join me in this course, okay? As we come together to gather our stories, we're going to find the stories, we're going to curate the stories, we're going to write the stories, we're going to tell the stories of our family, stories that will help us heal, because some of our stories are broken, and it's important that we're not a broken people. We have broken stories. I invite y'all to go to the website. I invite you to tell people about this. I invite you to sign up, okay? Sign up for the course, Celebrating Families, Healing Broken Stories. I'll be back a little bit later. I think my mother's in my voice right now. My mother told me one time, talking about stories. This is the kind of thing we find. We find sayings and proverbs and those things. My mother's in my ear, and she said, well, Kessa, don't make them happy twice. And I said, well, Mom, what do you mean don't make them happy twice? When I got ready to visit somebody, she would say, well, don't make them happy twice. And she finally, settled, or I finally asked her enough, like, Mom, what are you talking about? I thought you would want to make people happy as many times as you can. She said, well, son, what I mean is make them happy to see you come, but not happy to see you go. So I want to get out of here before you're happy to see me go. All right. Please tell some folks about this project, this course, and you'll see the link in the website. I mean, in this in the comment section here, Healing Broken Stories. Join me as part of this dynamic project. This is Wakesa Mazimoyo, and I'll see you in the class.